As lunch bell ring, everybody run, come gather round in the square, ready fi have fun. On a ring game time, on a hide and seek. Give me some fun squares with nacho cheese. Fun squares with nacho cheese. A fun cracker that we need. Bold flavor, yes indeed. Give me some fun squares with nacho cheese. Fun squares with nacho cheese. Fun squares with nacho cheese. The fun cracker that we need. National Fun Squares with nacho cheese. National Fun Square, share the fun.
Talk Up Yout is powered by National Baking Company in association with Cranwater, a Stanley and Empress production, giving the youth a voice.
Talk Up Yout, myself a Talk Up Yout.
And so we come to know these youths and show these youths. Talk Up Yout, help the youths to know them roots. Nurture them, protect and love and hear these youths. Music make them know I love we show these youths.
Mr. Save the youth, I kill the youth, I talk up youth, I build the youth, I trick and fool and fill the youth, I talk up youth, I build the youth, empower and then skill the youth, I talk up youth, I build the youth, talk up youth in Jamaica, we are
Build the youths there.
talk up youth in Jamaica.
Tertiary education is regarded by many as a tool of upward social and financial mobility, and as such, it is the preferred activity to transition to after high school for adolescents and their parents. Or is it? Transition to university is fraught with many issues, premier among which is the spike in tuition and large fees, which have our little nation debating. Talk Up Yout, through its investors, National Baking Company and Cranwater, have assisted many young people through college with scholarships, because we say education, yeah? But we want to be honest with prospective college students about the challenges and rewards of tertiary education. Let's hear the youth share their stories and ideas, and we hope to find some solutions for how to successfully navigate the tertiary system.
We have to build the youths there.
Talk up youth in Jamaica.
There are many issues surrounding tertiary education in Jamaica. But one of the real issues I see is that our young people feel as though it is not as important to get a tertiary level education because other persons have been successful without it. But I do believe that we must get the tertiary education in order to ensure ourselves going forward, because a lot has really not been said about the stories of others who have failed by not getting the tertiary education and just trying to get into business and try to push themselves forward without it. So I believe it is time that we recognize that tertiary education is very important for us to have.
Another important issue is the fact that a lot of young people are not preparing themselves enough, especially the ones that leave straight from high school and go right into first year. They're not preparing themselves enough mentally and emotionally to understand that university is not high school. I just went through first year and it's like a big wake-up call. Like, first of all, university is much bigger. But apart from that, it's really just 3 or 4 years of your life that can have the greatest impact on your life, especially if done right. So I think it's very beneficial if we as young people going into university prepare ourselves enough mentally and emotionally and financially.
My big problem is that a lot of these courses are not accredited, and I think that is a big scam. So as what she said, if you guys could research on the courses that you're doing and not just trying to get a degree, but actually be aware that the course is accredited, then that would be good.
There's this perception that once you have a degree, you're going to be successful. And what that does is then it puts this pressure on our poor government that it's already paying for healthcare and paying for primary education to then feel that they need to pay for tertiary education as well. That to me is just not plausible. And so what you have taking place is that you have a lot of persons who are complaining and having issues, not realizing that though other countries have free tertiary education just by being a citizen, we're not at that point where we can afford to have free education. We have a different background from a lot of these countries. Not to draw for the slavery card, but we've gone through things that a lot of countries haven't gone through. And so it's going to take us a lot of time to reach that point where tertiary education is going to be free. But right now, I strongly believe somebody has to pay, and it's not the government.
First year for me was a hot mess. Hot, but still a mess. My parents, they didn't prepare me properly, and I mean, they said, okay, Christina Bright, she have 11 CXC, so she must get a scholarship. But the truth is, in many instances, we're not even aware of all of these scholarships and bursaries available. And Parents need to invest in their children. Every make you put aside a little money, so by the time I reach UWI, I have money can actually go to school. Even for the first year, you can't rely on faith only. And also, when you get to the university, speaking about UWI, sometimes I feel like I'm in a business space. Like, where's the psychosocial care and support for us? I just feel like you just need to get with money, ensure so we get the grades and we just come out. Like, the mental support for us is not there. And also, there are so many things you can get involved in when you get to university, but you're not told about it. It's a glorified high school, similarly to what Catherine said. And you go there with expectations, but that's not the truth. The lecturers and you don't really have a good relationship. Hot mess.
Well, there's an old Jamaican saying, say, puss and dog now have the same luck. That could mean you and I could do the same thing, but we may not get the same result. Not because it's a John who didn't attend a university, succeeding in life. That doesn't mean that you ought to just shun university overall. I think it's our perception on going into university. We want the glorious degrees. We want to be doctors, lawyers, and all of that. But have we really researched much to see if Jamaica can accommodate more doctors, more lawyers? Why not choose a degree that's lucrative and workable in Jamaica? I did my degree in theology. Yeah, theology, studying the Bible. That won't get you practically no job. But I'd make sure I choose a minor degree that makes me marketable. I did guidance and counseling. I can work in CDA. I can work in the Ministry of Education. I worked in Ministry of Education as a guidance counselor. I can work as a social worker, as a dean of discipline. Choose a degree that can be used across the board.
Those were the concerns of the youth. When we return, discussion time.
We have to build the youth
Welcome youth in Jamaica.
There is no other bun like this one. The flavor is so good. Who say bun can't sweet? Oops, mind you bite your finger.
National spiced buns, baked with national pride.
My wow moment.
My wow moment.
My wow moment.
Kind of water with wow.
That's my wow. That's my wow. Yeah. Water we do. Watch out.
My wow moment when I get the highest in my class. That's my wow. Water with wow.
When we get 16 and maths, I never expect so much. That's my wow.
Kind of water with wow. When school over, I'm gonna get for me. That's my wow.
Water with wow.
When I get my back food, that's my wow. Kind of water with wow.
Water with wow.
Your future come first, talk the truth, talk the truth. Youths in a caucus out, wanna score, oh. If you want be cute. Try get high grades, not high grade.
Get high grades in your brain and nothing in your lungs is strip and IV. Don't blind your vision with smoke and let devils tell your friends themselves stop doing.
Decriminalization don't mean it legalized. You can still be penalized. Why you penalizing your lungs with ganja? Hey, youths be wise.
Youths know the facts. Follow us at Drug Free JA. Brought to you by the National Council on Drug Abuse.
We have to build the youth
Welcome youth in Jamaica.
Kevon, you had mentioned something earlier that I want you to help me to understand. You had said that universities are somewhat scammers, right? But I don't understand why you'd make that statement because the university, one, doesn't force anyone to do any particular course, right? And the university, I remember I have a pamphlet at home where the university basically outlines all the degrees, all the courses you would have to take, etc. And you can see which ones are accredited versus not. I don't feel like that's something that the university would hide from.
Well, listen, it don't make any sense you're charging someone for something that you're not going to give them. It's like you go to the shop, you give them the money for an item and you don't get it. So why would you charge someone for something they're not going to get? Remember I said it in 2014, you know. Why you need experience to get a job and really you need a job to get experience. So after going into the university, you can't get a job. You understand?
I don't agree with you. And this is why I don't agree with you. Not everybody is set out to be a doctor. Not everybody is set out to be a lawyer. And I think if somebody wants to do a particular field, I think a university that offers it is much better off than a university that puts you in 4 categories: medicine, lawyer, doctor, etc. You understand what I'm saying?
So what you're saying, if someone
I'm saying sometimes some courses take a while to be accredited.
But I should say it, because I'm going to say, Kevon, I had similar experience, you know, when I started Michael. I really thought that the courses were accredited. And Kavan probably would have said scamming too. Yeah. But what I did, I participated in the process and I helped to make sure that, guess what, my course gets accredited. So when I graduated and me hear my other colleagues, I said, nah, boy, you know, say, a pre-trained money where I get. When me left now, they accredited. So they need to tell us that these courses, when they put them up on the nice website and we go look, them need to put not accredited. So we know, say, if we now come here so go do one degree, we can't help it right away. We go to another institution that has it accredited. So they must make it known. And that's where I think Kavan is coming
university
from.
won't tell them
if
that.
there is
That's
space,
the
you must add if
that.
there's also space at the university.
That's the reason why I'm saying that some of these universities are scammers. They would not say that. And if they do say that the course is not accredited, trust me, it's in very fine print.
Okay, so I agree.
It's not obvious.
Can I jump in first? Like, just to say, it's up on the individual to check if the course, if the degree is accredited. Accreditation comes after a certain number of cohorts has been graduated. So you check and say, is this a new degree? When I was choosing to do my master's, I had to check out, is this master's degree accredited? When they said no, I said, all right, then let me go check somewhere else. But the onus is upon you. If you take a degree that's not accredited, don't mark it off the board and say, well, it's useless. Because UCJ take a while to do the accreditation. It's not after you graduate, you know, bam, your degree is accredited.
We don't know about the accreditation thing, some of us, when we're just leaving high school, and when they come, they tell us that we offer this, we offer that, we offer that. We don't know, say them have to accredited, you know, we don't know that yet. Say it must be accredited. It's when you are there that you understand that these courses that they were selling to you were not accredited. I can give you an example to that. When we went, we got Bachelors of Science on the paper, but you see when the accreditation time done, a Bachelors of Education. So you can say the talk, but we must know. I think it is upon them to be authentic and true to us.
I mean, it's a very tedious task, you know, to prepare yourself for university. I remember the 2 months of summer that I had at the upper six, you sit down there with your friends and you're like, how does university thing work? Like, you don't know how to register for classes. When the UE people did come to my school and the whole away in the upper six, sit down in this big room and they're telling us about UE and what we have. And
orientation is so close to when you start. It's like
I believe that the process, that's the issue. We wait until the appointed time. You shouldn't have to be waiting until upper six, which is just a few months before
that's when they start pushing down your throat.
But that's the bad thing and the sad thing. They shouldn't be waiting until that immediate moment. You should actually be starting from 10th grade, because at 10th grade you decide on the subjects you're doing and also push you into your career.
You're a CXC for your man, you know?
So. Yes, it's 60, but we have guidance counselors, Mr. Guidance Counselor. You're getting paid. So I think that should also be a part of that guidance curriculum right there. You know, use up the guidance counselors.
But just to say that, when I was working as a guidance counselor, you didn't have many students to come in to do career counseling. Okay. I would walk on the school compound and say, hey, what are you going to do? Come, let's talk about it.
Which school were you at?
I won't call the school.
You won't call the school name? Okay, the reason why I asked, because I've realized that through my time at NSSC, National Secondary Students Council, working with different schools, I realized that at the traditional high schools, they tend to push, or they tend to put a lot of emphasis on college preparation a lot more than at the upgraded high schools. But I'm using the correct term on camera, right? And I think that's also an issue. It creates an elitist system from right there, because I am at Titchfield and I must say the only choice I have is UE. The only choice I have is UE, or they say UTech. They don't even. They say, okay, you shouldn't even go. They don't even tell us about the community colleges. What about or tell us about the, what about no, I am saying that, like, I'm not saying that happens at all schools. Specifically to me, they push certain schools on you and certain information only on you.
Janelle had said something about the government, you know, they should not really fund it. I'm not saying that they should fund it, but we have to make it known that you have to be responsible. Like, we need to make our students aware of how to fund their tertiary education. So it's not about begging the government to fund it per se, but it's about ensuring that them streamline. So if them have scholarships, and not just some people know about the scholarships, everybody knows that the scholarships
I want to move a little bit away from even scholarships and bursaries, because the truth is we don't need to have free education to have quality education and equitable education. In Mexico and Brazil, they offer free education. We are aware of Germany, they also offer free education. But what we need to know is that in Germany, they have the second highest tax burden, right, in the OECD countries. Now, you're saying, okay, the citizens were willing to pay the extra tax to ensure that their citizens you know, able to get the free education. So we have to decide how important is tertiary education to us. Are we willing to pay that extra tax so that my child can go to school free? You're not willing to pay that tax. Not willing to pay that tax.
It's not about not willing, it's just that it won't happen.
I don't
That's
think
just it.
No, I don't think really and truly that we're really pressuring the free. I don't think Janelle really saying that you don't really want to pay for no extra education.
No,
you don't
I
want
just
the
think
free.
extra tax.
You don't believe
For
in the
example,
free.
what happened the other day where the students were bailed out by the government? If I must be very honest with you, at first I was like, yes. That's my government. And then I remember an article came out about why is it that wasn't a wise decision. And then I started thinking about
Was it sustainable?
Because is it sustainable? And it also creates this impression that, and I know most persons might think, okay, the government not going to do it again for me. But then it puts that possibility out there.
My problem with it was when I heard where the money come from. You see, when I heard that it came from JAMVAT, for the final year students come from JAMVAT, and then the fast-tracked student loan, I'm saying then JAMVAT never exists already.
All along,
the students, we need to teach our people responsibility. So it's about faith and work. You can't just go to university on the faith alone. You have to put in the work. So you have to say, boy, all right, if this program pay 50%, if this program pay 20%, like say NYS is one of the programs who pay a part of like 30%, you know, once you do NYS. So there's a summer program, go do it for 3 weeks and so on. And you get a lot of
Do you have to apply for that?
No, when you apply, like when you're doing the summer job, you know the process of getting. So you do the summer job, then you apply for the bursary, then you get the bursary when you go to college. And then there's that where you work in college and you get another percentage, so 52% of your money that pay. So we need to
While they're doing the hours, of course.
Yeah, 200 hours.
I'm saying that sounds wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful. But not many persons know, you know?
Yeah, it leads back to
to
the
be honest.
point of preparedness.
So whose fault is it exactly? That they don't, what we don't know.
Again, the onus is upon the person.
I think it is the fault of ourselves as well as the fault of the people that are put in place to prepare us per se. And I know there are people that are out there in high school, they are put there to help us transition, right?
Even if the university fee is going to be free, they're going to charge us for something else.
Exactly.
They have to make money too.
The government subsidize a UE and a UTech. Most universities and colleges are privately owned. If they waive their fee, how the lecturers get paid, how the people them get paid.
Somebody has to stand the cost.
I do medicine, so it's completely different from somebody
1.3 mil?
No, I'm subsidized by the government.
Okay.
So I
big up yourself.
So the normal school fee, so I think they subsidize around 80 persons or 80 odd, I'm not sure of the exact number.
Right.
And they accept over 400 students.
Wow.
So I think that's why I'm so for the government. But so I pay a little near to 700,000 while the average student will pay 3.3 million for 1 year.
Wow. But most of us are subsidized, you know, we just don't know.
We just don't
Because
realize.
social sciences, let me tell you how I found out. I had a student in my class who was African. So when the rest of our course, I said, boy, look at my exam come and we have to go find this 200,000 we are paying. So when the girl said, but it's 1 point something I pay, I said,
Yeah,
so we are subsidized.
You know why people don't know that? We need to read up, find out which courses are accredited or not.
Yes.
Do our research like everyone wants us to do.
Prerequisites for some of these courses as well.
Plan ahead. I know which courses are going to do in third year and which semester are going to do it because I don't want to be drowning in third year.
When I was in college doing undergrad, Markia was to the T. You know, if they said it intro to this, I do intro to that. Yeah, but you had other persons that said, we can't wait till next year to the intro. And then based on that, when you reach final year,
you have
a plethora of courses to
That's
do.
Why I tried to do
plus
all my
practical.
foundation
That's why you have
courses
persons going over to 5th year when it's a 4-year degree. And
some
then them
people
cuss and say, oh, the people them rob them. And I'm like, nah, you were not effective in your... Right?
So here we're talking about the challenges affecting us to get in and actually when we're in, but what about those who can't get in for whatever reason? Isn't there no other option for them? Is it that they're going to fail out of society just because they never get a degree or a diploma?
Guess what? A lot of companies want people who has a degree, but yet still if you don't have a degree, it's just all boil down to the government. You need to create jobs for not only people who has a degree, but who don't, because they're part of the country. And then if you leave, everybody have them degree, and them don't have no degree, we leave them for the rob and thief. You have to call them. You can't ignore them.
Jamaicans are innovative, so entrepreneurial.
Yeah, why does the government have to create the job? Why can't they create the job?
I think we tend to generalize all the time and say, we are innovative as a people, don't get me wrong, but we just keep on saying everybody will leave school and get a job and we'll just turn entrepreneurs.
No,
That's not the case.
I'm not
I think oftentimes we just think tertiary is about the university degree.
Yeah.
Like we don't focus on hard trust. We don't focus on vocational courses.
Right, technical
there are a lot of
things.
3-month courses, and you're trained to be a supervisor somewhere. You can go into tourism, even the entrepreneurial aspect. You can go to Heart and do a short course.
And
it's
may
just
I
that
learn how to be
it's just that we are
nails,
telling
make
ourselves.
money.
We who are telling ourselves that we need to
The
go
issue is
tertiary
from
education.
primary school, high school, we were taught that technical and vocational is a backup. That if you not do academics is the main, and when you fail out, then you do technical and vocational, and that's not the case. It needs to be this should be on the same platform. You don't need to be a doctor to be successful. No offense. You know, there are other ways you can be successful. There's no one definition. We have to push it on the children from they're young, so that when they reach the tertiary level now, they can choose, okay, I don't need to go to university.
The stigma that we have surrounding the vocational courses, we need to change it. It has to be changed. People must know that it's important.
I personally know about entrepreneurship when I really leave school.
Wow.
In school, they don't really teach that.
No emphasis.
You understand? Because guess what they do? The said persons who create the syllabus are the persons who are creating the jobs, and they train us to come and work for them. So there are a lot of persons who are just not knowledgeable about stuff, and we, as the government and as peers, we need to inform people about it. Some people are just not knowledgeable.
Yes, we as youth leaders, we must also take up the banner, you know, and we know about the things them, so we need to talk the things them. Talk up youth.
Yes, guys, we raised some very valid points right now, but we're gonna throw it to the break.
We have to build the youths there. Come youth in Jamaica.
There is no other bun like this one. The flavor is so good. Who say bun can't sweet? Oops, mind you bite your finger.
National spiced buns, baked with national pride.
My wow moment.
My wow moment.
My wow moment.
Kind of water with wow.
That's my wow. That's my wow. Yeah. Water we do a watch out.
My wow moment when I get the highest in my class. That's my wow. Water with wow.
When we get 16 and maths, I never expect so much. That's my wow.
Kind of water with wow. When school over, I'ma get forgot me out. That's my wow.
Water with wow.
I'ma get my back food. That's my wow. Kind of water with wow.
Water with wow.
We have to build the youths there. Come youth in Jamaica.
Despite the issues surrounding tertiary education, I'm going to say, young people, you need to get a tertiary education. And let me tell you, it's not all about UWI, the MICO, or the rest of them. You can also go to Heart. Whatever your passion is, find a way to get it certified. Once you get it certified, trust me, the experience that you get from getting your tertiary education, however you choose to get it, it is what is going to propel you throughout life. After leaving the MICO, I know that I'm not going to just be a teacher of mathematics. The experiences I got there, right now I feel like I can be a promoter. Right now I feel like I can counsel 2 people. Right now I feel like I can do a bag of things and adjust through the experiences that I had at MICO. So when you go to college, when you go to Heart, wherever you go to be certified, make sure that you enrich yourself.
It's really beneficial if we prepare ourselves mentally, emotionally, and to recognize that university is not high school anymore, and we are basically adults all of a sudden. So I think we really need to understand that, yes, we want to have fun. I'm all about having fun. I'm all about enjoying this experience, and all about, you can go out and party and those things, but you need to understand that it's just 3 years or 4 years, and it really can be beneficial if you prepare yourself and know what you're doing, and understand that you're no longer a child.
It's an era of technology, so young people, just go up on the internet, do the research, and get a degree, and move on with life.
Don't allow tuition to be an issue, and don't allow your focus to be on the government providing that tuition, because there are a lot of means there for you to be able to afford tuition. But I don't think it's wise going forward to enter the program and not at least have some slight sense of how you're gonna actually be able to afford it. Because you is a business, people have to get paid, people are employed. So just be realistic about the situation. Education is not free at the tertiary level right now, but that doesn't mean it's not gonna happen in the future. So just go on, find the tuition and do the thing.
70% of our labor force are uncertified. How we fix this? The preparedness is very important. Parents, may I tell you straight up, invest. Start put a little money for your penny from now. Don't wait upon the faith, because faith without work is death. Right, Pastor? Right. And also, important that when you get to university, as Katrin said, get off the ground running, get involved. The only way you're going to get a comprehensive experience at university is if you do more than just your degree. Do some electives, do some club, learn Spanish, French, Mandarin. That's what I'm doing at university at the moment. I want to be globally competitive. So don't just rely on the government, but also rely on yourself, family, come together, prepare and plan for your child. And most importantly, every child must learn, every child will learn, but I will put the things in place that they will learn, and quality education.
Think about where you're going.
Think about it.
Think about it real hard. Don't just choose the cliche degree. Not everybody will be a doctor, not everybody will be a lawyer, not everybody will be a teacher. Think about the degrees and think about the job openings in your country. Don't try to leave the country, please don't leave the country. Think about the job degrees in your country and choose a degree that best fits your personality. Research about it, check if it is accredited by UCJ or any international accreditation company and run with it. As Janine said, don't let tuition scare you. No, make it happen. Because at some point, you will overcome, you will get the money. Somewhere or another, if you don't steal it. Please don't steal it.
Don't scam it either.
Don't scam it either, all right? Yeah. Well, you hear a lot of things on this show. You hear what Janine say about the university thing. I hear some people say the university must scammer. But come and hear another view.
Them tell me, make sure say you have a degree, so me pass up. All of me CXC, run, go apply for university, but me never too did have the money. Plus the government never do nothing for me. Me never have no guarantor fi go SLB. Education na the key, me could find the lock. People without degree and them reach the top. Why me I apply and me not have no tuition? How me dreams I go come into fruition? Not just because me have an ambition. Mr. Man wa go on for we. Why the government can't give me subsidy? Mr. Man wa go on for we. Why the government can't give me subsidy? Me can't afford education with tertiary.
We have to build the youth stand up youth in Jamaica.
Talk Up Yout is powered by National Baking Company in association with Cranwassa, a Stanley and Empress production, giving the youth a voice.
As lunch bell ring, everybody run, come gather round in the square, ready fi have fun. On no ring game time, on no hide and seek. Give me some fun squares with nacho cheese. Fun squares with nacho cheese, a fun cracker that we need. Bold flavor, yes indeed. Give me some fun squares with nacho cheese. Fun squares with nacho cheese. Fun squares with nacho cheese, the fun cracker that we need. National fun squares with nacho cheese. National fun square, share a square, share the fun.